And today, for your viewing pleasure, Trent Boy reads Dr. Seuss.
And to think I saw it on Mulberry Street. Man, this book, every couple pages, because this is the third take, it's kind of changing my opinion about this little motherfucker. I'm not gonna... I never read the word charioteer before. Hang on. Here we go. This book belongs to nobody. Nobody ever wrote their name in these, which makes this particular version worth $4. Dr. Seuss, Feline McSee, mother of the one and original Marco. And if we had saved the first take, you would have heard me say, the lady Dr. Seuss was banging when her son came home too soon from school and told this bullshit lie. Because nobody's dad's going to talk to him like this guy's dad in this book. Anyway, here we go. When I leave home to walk to school, Dad always says to me, Marco, keep your eyelids up and see what you can see. But when I tell him where I've been and what I think I've seen, he looks at me and sternly says, your eyesight's much too keen. Stop telling such outlandish tales. Stop turning minnows into whales. Now what can I say when I get home today? All the long way to school and all the way back, I've looked and I've kept careful track. But all that I've noticed, except my own feet, was a horse and a wagon on Mulberry Street. Oh, I'm sorry. Get that one on the camera there. There we go. Oh, that center camera for my back is... Whew.
Well, the center camera's not on. Don't worry about it.
But anyway, so... I'm gonna read the book with stories.
I
That
like it.
is this little motherfucker saying this is what he saw today. School's 3 blocks from here, Pop. Even in the city in 1937, when this goddamn book was written, that's it. He saw a horse in a carriage. Guys,
It's like the opposite of that.
I ripped the page.
Oh, you know how old that book is? And it lasted all the way up until you put your grubby mitts on it. For 3 takes.
I'm sure I have a copy at my house. So anyway, the kid tells, like, that's what he saw. But I digress. Here he comes. Here comes the little son of a bitch himself, Marco. Ready? There's nothing to tell of. That won't do, of course. Just a broken down wagon that's drawn by a horse. I have to look at the camera and read?
Talk to them.
I like talking to you, though.
I know, but talk to them today.
That's why we have
You're
the
reading
show.
to them.
All right. That can't be my story. That's only a start. I'll say that a zebra was pulling that cart. And that is a story that no one can beat when I say that I saw it on Mulberry Street. Fucking probably not even a real street.
I'm sure there's probably several.
Well, the zebra is fine, but I think it's a shame. Such a marvelous beast with a cart that's so tame. Right? Where the fuck did they get a zebra? I agree. He's got a point. The story would really be better to hear if the driver I saw were a charioteer, a gold and blue chariot, something to meet, rumbling like thunder down Mulberry Street. Look at this shit, like Gladiator. Fucking it.
Are you not entertained?
Russell fucking Crowe. What'd you do today? Russell Crowe was fucking reading books at my school. No, it won't do at all. A zebra's too small. A reindeer is better. He's fast and he's fleet, and he'd look mighty smart on old Mulberry Street. Fucking reindeer. Hold on a minute. There's something wrong. A reindeer hates the way it feels to pull a thing that runs on wheels. How do you trap that? He'd be much happier instead if he could pull a fancy sled. Getting a little Santa Clausy up in this bitch. A reindeer and a sleigh. Say, anyone could think of that. The kid was ahead of me. Gotta give this little son of a bitch his due. Jack or Fred or Joe or Nat. Say, even Jane could think of that. Why? Jack or Fred or Joe or Nat. Because that used to be a boy's name on Mulberry Street. Even Jane could think of that, you know.
A woman?
Women are stupid. It's 1937, okay? They really, probably, ultimately, were not
Keep reading the book, pal.
How the fuck do you?
He just...
No, it gets worse.
Oh, I mean, that's not the reason they edited. But, yeah.
That's crazy. They probably will now. This is going with that. A reindeer and a sleigh. Say anyone could think of that. Jack or Fred or Joe or Nat. Say even Jane could think of that. But it isn't too late to make one little change. A sleigh and an elephant. There's something strange. I'll pick one with plenty of power and size. A blue one with plenty of fun in his eyes. And then, just to give him a little more tone, have a Raja with rubies perched high on a throne. I agree. It does add a little something. I mean, if you're gonna get it, this guy, I mean, say that makes a story that no one can beat when I say that I saw it on Mulberry Street. Oh, what's in the bowl, bitch? Right? Dude, I feel like Dice is reading this. But now I don't know, it still doesn't seem right. An elephant pulling a thing that's so light would whip it around like the... What? Would whip it around in the air like a kite. It's a good thing I reread that one. We would have pissed off a few people there. But he looks simply grand with a great big brass band. A band that's so good should have something to hear it, but it's going so fast that it's hard to keep near it. I'll put on a trailer. I know they won't mind if a man sits and listens while hitched on behind. Let's go! But now is it fair? Is it fair what I've done? I'll bet those wagons weigh more than a ton. That's really too heavy a load for one beast. Just one. I'll give him some helpers. He needs two at least. But now, what worries me is this. Mulberry Street runs into bliss. I feel like that's another fabrication of how much he's enjoying making this story up to lie to Dr. Seuss.
He's just getting his rocks off to it.
He's like, fuck this guy. He's fucking my mom. I can't think of anything that rhymes with mom that would be funny.
Bomb?
Nom?
Proceed.
Unless there's something I can fix up, there will be an awful traffic mix-up. It takes police to do the trick. To guide them through where traffic is thick. It takes police to do the trick. I like how they repeat that. It needs to be reiterated.
That's not propaganda.
It's just societal.
Huh.
They'll never crash now. They'll race at top speed with Sergeant Mulvaney himself in the lead.
Naming people by names now.
Sergeant Mulvaney.
Calling them out. Sergeant Mulvaney, where you at?
I don't think there's any Bud Light in this bitch, but... You didn't realize how cultural this fucking book was the wrong book? Indeed.
Oh,
I haven't seen this guy in respect lately.
I gotta put my hat on.
The mayor is there, and he thinks it is grand, and he raises his hat as they dash by the stand. The mayor is there, and the aldermen too, all waving banners of red, white, and blue. And that is a story that no one can beat when I say that I saw it on Mulberry Street. Yeah, girl, yeah. It's the 80s by now. I've been reading since 1938. With a roar of its motor, an airplane appears. Why are we on a fucking wagon, my dear? Oh, it doesn't say that, but I did. Check that shit, bitch. What are we doing with the fucking reindeer? Huh? Rhyming ain't that hard. That's why rap progressed into violence, because rhyming was bullshit, dog. With a roar of its motor, an airplane appears and dumps out confetti while everyone cheers. And that makes a story that's really not bad, but it still could be better. Suppose that I add. This is a gem, people. A Chinese boy who eats with sticks. A big magician doing tricks. A 10-foot beard that needs a comb. No time for more, I'm almost home. I swung round the corner and dashed through the gate. I ran up the steps and I felt simply great. This is me coming home hammered at a very young age. For I had a story that no one could beat, and to think that I saw it on Mulberry Street. Hey!
Hey! Hey, what are you gonna do?
Talk to my man all wrong.
Do it again.
But Dad said quite calmly, just drop your stool and tell me the sights on the way home from school. There was so much to tell, I just couldn't begin. Before I go any further, what the fuck was this guy's dad doing all day? He was just waiting around at the house, waiting for him to come home to lie to him so he could call him a liar.
He's hoping he came home with a fucking golden ticket.
And that's how I know that the story this little kid is telling, he's just trying to impress this new guy that's fucking his mom during the day while his dad's at work. It's 1937, people. I mean,
I see where your head's at.
Yeah, Dr. Seuss is a piece of shit. But Dad sat quite calmly. Just drop your stool and tell me the sights on the way home from school. Hey. What do you got, boy? There was so much to tell, I just couldn't begin. Dad looked at me sharply. Has this motherfucker been at school? How the fuck? What was he doing all day?
That kid's in tuberculosis.
Dad looked at me sharply and pulled at his chin. He frowned at me sternly from there in his seat. Was there nothing to look at? No people to greet? Did nothing excite you or make your heart beat? Dr. Seuss might have been misinterpreting what being somebody's dad versus being somebody's daddy was. He should have stuck with, nothing, I said, growing red as a beet, but a plain horse and wagon on Mulberry Street. Little pussy didn't even lie to his dad after that whole story. Just some shit he was telling me. Fucking mind me. Fuck.
Oh.
I don't even have to lie to my dad. Well, yeah, I do. I just leave shit out. I'm more of a deduction guy. This kid, he didn't see none of that. He spent his whole day lying to his mom's fucking what is it, a mister? What's a mistress is with the other way around? What do you call that?
Not sure. But that was story time with Not My Breakfast.